Hey guys, Scott from Tech Break here to do a comparison of the two new iPads that came out in 2020, 11-inch and the 12.9-inch to help you determine which one is right for you. Let's dig in. Here it is, folks. The iPad Pro 11-inch 2020 version. Here on the box we've got the gigabytes. This is a 256 gig. It's the 11-inch. They're calling this the second generation, whereas the larger one is referred to as the fourth generation. Inside the box it includes the iPad Pro, USB-C charging cable, and USB-C power adapter. We've got the Apple on the bottom and the top of the box in the color that represents which color the iPad is inside. So this one's the space gray, and then an image of the iPad here on the front. Let's get this thing open and take a look. Overall, the form factor on the iPad hasn't changed this year. It still fits the same cases. Geez, that sound never gets old. But it looks nearly identical to the prior version. It's really the internals that change, this new camera system. Still have 4 speakers on the outside, the on-off button, the volume buttons here on the side, and then down on the bottom we've got 2 more speakers and the USB-C port. It really is just a really good looking iPad. Here it is in the sort of turquoise case that Apple sells. They've got a new case, this Magic Keyboard that's coming out in May. Subscribe so you can catch the full review as soon as it comes out. The camera has been upgraded, so we've got a 12 megapixel wide angle, a 10 megapixel ultra wide, and then the LiDAR scanner and Face ID. The LiDAR helps with augmented reality, so here we see it being used with the Measure app, so you no longer need to calibrate when you open up the Measure app, and it's definitely more accurate. I don't know that I'd use it for anything too important, but overall it does a phenomenal job. I've used it several times in the week that I've had it. Speed-wise, they've got the same guts. They've all been upgraded with 6 gigs of RAM, the new A12Z processor. So you used to have to decide between sizes in terms of gigs to get different speeds. You no longer have to do that. And a new feature we've got with this iPad OS version is the cursor support. So this now supports external trackpads. So with the new Magic Keyboard that's coming out, you'll have that functionality. You can also just hook a normal trackpad, which is what I've done here, and then it gives you the ability to zoom in, zoom out, click around, mouse over things. And as with any new technology Apple comes out with, if you remember back to 3D Touch, it's going to take a minute for the different websites and apps to kind of catch on to the cursor support. Again, the guts are exactly the same, so you can get the lower end version if you don't need a ton of storage and still get everything you would get with the most expensive version. Here's the 12.9-inch, just to give you an idea of what it looks like in the hand. And for multitasking, I will say it is pretty nice because you've got more screen real estate, so you can send messages while you're kind of browsing the web or looking at magazines. You can swipe away just like you could before. Watching movies is a lot nicer on the larger version, and then just overall browsing is definitely nicer. However, if you need the portability of the 11-inch, I definitely recommend it. You still get quite a bit of screen real estate if you haven't had this iPad with the smaller bezel. We've got the same multi-touch gestures, so the swiping across the different apps that you have open, as well as going back to the home screen. And the speed on this thing is just phenomenal. There's no lag switching from app to app, opening apps, closing apps. Super fast. Another thing to consider if you do a lot of reading, having the extra screen real estate on the 12-inch is nice. However, if you do need the portability of the 11, you can still make the text pretty darn big here on the 11. The design's the same as the prior version, really pretty iPad. These things, I clocked these things on Geekbench, and they clock basically exactly the same speed, so again, no speed difference that you need to consider when determining which one you want to get. The writing functions the same on both of them as well. All in all, the new iPads are really a performance machine. Whether you get the 11 or the 12.9, you're getting the same guts, the same computing power, the same performance. You'll get a little bit bigger screen with the 12.9, but all in all, they really are performance machines and a joy to work with. If you have any thoughts, leave them down in the comments section below, and remember, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, help us out so we can produce more content like this, and thanks for watching.